Well, I've always painted since I was a child. I was hardly ever without a paintbrush or pencil, apart from when I was playing sport, which I love as well. And then I tried to get into art colleges in England, and I was actually turned down by 5. Told I was talentless, all those sort of things. But carried on painting because it was my passion. Then I was very lucky. I got a job as an apprentice fine art screen printer, where I was working with artists from around the world. And I really learned by watching them, watching their techniques and everything. After 2 years, I became in charge of the studio and was there for 7 years. And I learned so much through them and from the artists. Then I really got into scuba diving quite heavily, and I was finally made redundant. And I decided that I wanted to try to make a living as an artist, although I didn't have any background in it. I thought, I don't really want to work for someone else again. I want to just try and teach myself to paint. And I was initially going to start on tropical marine fish because of the scuba diving. And then a friend just said, have you seen koi carp? And I didn't know anything about them at all. Went to a garden centre and that was it, wham. And I thought, if I can learn enough about koi and specialise in one subject, try and build up a reputation and take it from there. And I purely did koi for 10 years, and then I branched into tropical marine fish. Now I do turtles, anything really, food art. Initially I started painting them as an abstract form, and then I started going through all the koi carp shows in England. I was going to about 13, 14 shows a year, and obviously the people at the koi shows are very passionate about their koi. So I learnt the hard way, people saying that fin shape's wrong, that colour's wrong, the scalation's wrong. But it was good to learn that way. And then out of respect as well for the hobby, I had to learn, and I wanted to learn. So it was great, and I aim for anatomical correctness, but I can also bring abstraction into it through the backgrounds, using different techniques on the backgrounds, but for me the fish have to be right. I almost solely work with acrylic now, because as I can use acrylic like a watercolour on the background, so you get like the water spread effect, but I can also layer it so it's like oil paint. And really to give the fish their character, and the important thing about the koi is the colour, the lustre. Acrylic gives you that vibrancy of colour, which watercolour wouldn't. Oil can do, but I like to build up the fish and make it almost three-dimensional by embossing the scales and highlights, so acrylic is ideal. Always nature. I always did. I remember doing drawings of otters and anything, butterflies. And then I did do a series on butterflies and fruits and things, but that was when I was in work, previous to setting up as an artist. Everywhere really. I've been to so many koi shows that I take many photos. I've done quite a few commissions for people. I've done portraits of their fish, whether it's just a hobby fish, or I've done many grand champions. In those situations, the photographs are very important to get the markings correct and the body shape, etc. But with the paintings you see here, I start with the background, and even at that point, I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the canvas. Then I'll work out a design and pick the right varieties for that canvas. Sometimes I'll finish a fish and then paint the next one, and I think they don't look right on the canvas, so I'll have to go back and start again on maybe one of the fish, sometimes two. But certain fish really complement each other colour-wise. My favourite painting was Centripetal. I think that was the biggest. That was 5 foot by 4 foot, and it took nearly 3 months to complete. And I had to, at the time I was just living in one room, and I had to lie it on my bed, and then lie on top of the painting to draw it and paint it, and you know, the artist Garrett. But my favourite fish to paint is probably the shower. I love showers, particularly the old style showers, which are more black and red than I think nowadays they go for more white being more prominent. And also Yamabuki Ogons, they always help the whole complement of a painting. Well, we've just got a new baby, so the whole world's changing, but for the better. It's brilliant. But art-wise, I'm still obviously going to carry on painting koi. I'm now branching into tropical marines more and more because of the scuba diving. Techniques, I'm trying new techniques all the time. The great thing about not getting into art college is I have no rules. No one's taught me what to do. I've taught myself, and so I'm always trying different techniques. On the backgrounds of some of the fish, you'll see they're all very watercolory, some very layered, some very brushstrokey. The scalation, which is very important to me, which helps create the three-dimensional effects, is I use a form of embossing, which I taught myself basically. I draw out the fish, draw each scale, then emboss each scale, then paint over them all in white, and then build up. So each scale is painted 7 or 8, 9 times. So that's I'm always looking for new techniques, but it's more a matter of me trying things out rather than reading or being told what to do in that respect.